I recently completed one of the largest miniature projects I've ever done. Some of you may have seen on my Instagram, but if you didn't, I made this.
It's like a scripted speech.
Whoa! It's a set!
Dude, that's so sick.
Right?
This is crazy. Who made this?
My friend Colson back home. He worked on it for a month straight.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Bro, that's sick.
What
Isn't
the
that crazy?
heck?
I want to tell a story about miniatures, where it all started for me, why they inspire me, and what they have to do with my future. Schoolwork was finished for my brother and I, who were homeschooled at the time. This meant it was time to exit our world and enter another. Long days were spent in the backyard, building and exploring the worlds we would create. It wasn't long before we brought our Legos outside to help build these worlds. The favorite activity between my brother and I was building massive Lego villages into the dirt hill in the yard, and then turning on the hose and flooding it until mudslides and rivers had terraformed the small town. The best Lego guys saved everyone they could, of course. Christmas, 2012. Having spent much of my free time in the year leading up to this Christmas doing arts and crafts, my parents decided on a gift better than toys this year. On Christmas morning, my mom led me upstairs, away from the Christmas tree, strangely enough, to my own bedroom. I wondered nervously what would warrant this untraditional gifting experience, as all my siblings watched from the hall excitedly. My mom gave the signal, and we piled into my brother and I's messy room. One wall, however, was now inhabited by a desk, with drawers full of all the craft supplies I could imagine at the time. I then pretended to faint to indicate my excitement. That desk definitely got its use out of it in the following years. Summer, 2014. Likely one of the most memorable summers of my life. I do not jest when I say 80% of my brother and I's waking hours were spent building and painting in our studio. Earlier that year, we had found a rulebook for a tabletop game at a thrift store. The Lord of the Rings miniature tabletop war game, it read, full of pictures of small wars taking place between intricately painted miniatures on a table dressed like a fantasy landscape. We were sold. Spending every amount of money and resources we had on buying miniatures, paints, and materials for the game, and spending every free minute on painting, playing, and most exciting for me, building the terrain that these battles would take place on. A group of 4 or 5 of us and our friends would meet every Friday night to play in our garage. Years more of tabletop gaming, building, and painting followed. Eventually, the expenses caused our group to stop playing. But it never stopped my obsession with miniature worlds. I tested the limits of realism I could achieve, as well as using just paper, attempting stop motion, and sculpting. It just became a hobby that I always came back to. (2020). My friend Kyle films on Jeff's barbershop. He texted me about making him a miniature studio that he could give to Jeff Whittick for Christmas. After a busy month of trying to balance my job, my channel, and making this miniature, it was finished. And that brings us full circle. Why did I fill my time with building miniatures in my childhood? Why is the concept so intriguing to me? Why do small creations captivate me? I believe it to be the same reason I love film: storytelling. Miniatures can tell stories. They immerse you in a place beyond reality, yet you can hold them in your hand. They bring you to different worlds, but are created with simple materials. I think most importantly, they grant a new perspective on the world. And when done right, I think film can do the same. 2021. I hope to put film and miniatures together many times in the future. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much, guys, for watching to the end of the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see all the exciting things I have planned in 2021.